Today, we're going to talk about a word, a really common one, faith. But what if I told you that the way we use it today is, well, it's just a shadow of what it used to mean? We're going to go on a journey, peel back the layers, and find out what this word really meant at its core.
So, let me just ask you straight up, what does faith mean to you? I mean, for most of us, right, it's kind of this internal thing, a feeling, something you believe in your head, maybe a general sense of trust. But what if that's not the whole picture? What if, for the people who first wrote about it, faith wasn't a feeling at all, but a life-or-death commitment, something that demanded, well, everything?
And you can see the difference right here. Look at this. On one side, you've got our modern idea, mental assent, an internal feeling. But on the other side, whoa, it's about covenant loyalty, active allegiance, embodied fidelity. We're not talking about a small difference in meaning here. This is a totally different way of thinking about it. It's something you do, something you live, not just a thought floating around in your head.
All right, so let's just dive in. Let's completely rethink this word and get back to its roots. Okay, the phrase you need to hang on to through all of this is believing loyalty. See, this isn't about ticking a box that says, I agree with these facts. No. It's about binding yourself to God. It's a covenant. Think of it like a sacred treaty or a marriage pact. It's an all-in commitment with your hands, your feet, your entire being.
And you have to get the context here. Back in the ancient world, the spiritual landscape was, well, it was more like a battlefield of competing gods. Choosing who you worshipped wasn't like picking a personal philosophy you kind of liked. It was like enlisting in an army. You were choosing your king, your code of conduct, your whole reality.
Okay, to really get this, we got to go way back, right to the beginning, to see how this all started as a kind of ancient loyalty pact.
Think about the story in Eden for a second. The first sin, it wasn't just, breaking a rule. It was high treason. It was a defection. Adam and Eve didn't just disobey. They literally switched their allegiance. They abandoned their creator for a rival power. And that one act of broken loyalty, it broke everything.
Now this verse right here, this is basically our Rosetta Stone. It unlocks the whole thing. When it says Abraham believed the Lord, we're not talking about him just nodding along with an idea. No way. It means he pledged his exclusive, unwavering loyalty. He turned his back on all the other gods, the gods of his family, his entire culture, and went all in with Yahweh.
Okay, so let's just break that down. It's super important. 1. Abraham's faith is this active loyalty. He's binding himself to God. 2. Righteousness isn't some prize he gets for being a good guy. It's just God recognizing, okay, Abraham is aligned with me now, he's on my team. And 3, you can't separate these two things. Being righteous is being in that loyal, committed relationship.
In this idea, it doesn't just stay with one guy, Abraham. It scales up. It becomes about the allegiance of an entire nation.
Seriously, you can read the whole story of Israel as this epic drama of allegiance. At Mount Sinai, they make this huge national oath of loyalty. Then you get to the book of Judges, and it's just this tragic cycle of them breaking that oath, getting into trouble, getting rescued, and then doing it all over again. And the prophets, their whole job was to be that one voice shouting, come back, remember who you swore your loyalty to. And this is why the biggest sin you see in the Old Testament isn't what you might think. It's not murder, it's not theft, it's idolatry. Because when you see faith as loyalty, idolatry isn't just a mistake, it is treason. It's a deep, profound betrayal of your king. And this treason showed up in a bunch of ways. The prophets, they called it spiritual adultery, cheating on God. When Israel trusted in foreign armies instead of God, that was shifting their reliance. And when they practiced injustice, that wasn't just them being bad people. It was them acting just like the cruel, corrupt gods they were now worshiping.
Okay, so all of this is building, and it all comes to a head in the New Testament. It's all about allegiance to the one true king.
So, when Jesus shows up talking about the gospel of the kingdom, he isn't just sharing some nice philosophical ideas. It's a summons. It's an announcement. He's basically saying, the real king is here, and it's time to transfer your allegiance to me.
And the choice the gospel presents it's stark. It is a choice of kingdoms. Where's your allegiance going to lie? With the temporary powers of this world, the rulers, the corrupt systems? Or are you going to pledge your loyalty to God's true king, Jesus? There's really no middle ground.
And this totally reframes a big theological word you might have heard, justification. It stops being this complicated legal thing. It's actually really simple. It's God doing for us exactly what he did for Abraham. The moment we pledge our believing loyalty to King Jesus, God graciously says, okay, you're righteous. You're in a right relationship with me.
But this allegiance isn't some private, internal thing you do by yourself. It's meant to be lived out. The church? It's a covenant community. Baptism? That's your public oath of allegiance. Communion? That's the family meal where you remember and renew that loyalty. And discipleship? Well, that's the whole rest of your life, learning to be truly loyal to your king.
Okay, so what? Why does any of this matter? Well, let's wrap this up by looking at why this shift from belief to loyalty changes everything.
It really comes down to this simple, powerful truth. Whatever you give your ultimate allegiance to, that's what will shape you. It determines your character, your values, your identity. Whom you worship determines who you become. Simple as that.
And when you look at it this way, through the lens of believing loyalty, the whole Bible just clicks. It becomes one coherent story. From the broken loyalty in Eden to Abraham's radical trust to Israel's constant struggle, all the way to the perfect faithfulness of the king, it's all one story about God restoring our broken loyalty to him.
So we're going to end right back where we started, with a question. But hopefully, it's a little sharper now, a little more personal. If faith isn't just a feeling you have or an idea you agree with, if it's an active, binding loyalty, then who or what truly has yours?